What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Kotzik here, back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. This is our podcast for Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. Talk some more hoops today with you guys today. Preview of Michigan State's clash with Minnesota. Kind of a tricky game here, really, I must say, because this is kind of a similar situation that Michigan State is when they were playing Rutgers last week. It's just a game that's just kind of in this awkward spot, and you have a really, really, really big game on 2 days prep immediately after this. Again, this is just kind of one of those dreaded sandwich games. You just played Michigan, you lost, but it's an emotionally charged game. You put a lot of energy into winning, trying to win that game. Of course, that's not what happened. And now you have to move on emotionally, physically. They've had plenty of time. I think it was 4 days rest or prep really for this game against Minnesota. And you also can't be caught looking ahead to who you play on Saturday because you play fifth ranked Illinois on Saturday. Really, really good team coming into the Breslin Center again, just kind of like how Michigan is a very good team that came into the Breslin Center and got a win. So lots of things to look for in this game. Of course, we'll talk about the Illinois game more in depth once we get closer into it. Haven't watched a ton of Illinois yet. I'll have to brush up on them after this game. They've got Wagler, who's a Big Ten Player of the Year candidate, freshman, really good player. That's that, but we'll get more into Illinois in the future. But for Minnesota, again, a couple of things that I would like to see out of the Spartans in this game. One of the things is just a quicker start. Just in general, I like Izzo's been heavily implying that he is going to start Jordan Scott in this game. He hasn't like gone out and said it. I mean, kind of get irritated in the press conference on Monday. Very, very long press conference on Monday. I may add. Kind of like, what do you think? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not just gonna give it away. But if Jordan Scott's probably starting this game, just kind of reading through the lines of what Izzo has said. Just like he didn't want to fiddle with the lineups when they were winning. They were on a win streak. The game where Divine missed it, it was the Nebraska game. So really they hadn't lost with Divine starting. So they didn't really want to mess with it too much there. But now they have lost a game to Michigan. They started slow. They immediately got down 15-5. That Michigan was able to build that up to 18 points. Jordan Scott was a guy who provided a spark off the bench, so why not put that spark in at the very beginning? That's just kind of one of the basic. That's one of the basic things about just the decision ahead for Michigan State. So certainly, Jordan Scott probably going to start this game. Wouldn't be stunned though if they stuck with it just to keep that spark going on the bench, but. Certainly am looking for a change in the starting lineup, some tinkering going on there. I also like it too, the move, because it would allow Divine Ugochukwu to move back to his normal role as the backup point guard, which is what he came here to be, and what he was originally at the beginning of the season. I think that's where he's a better fit moving forward right now. You could still use him at the two once in a while, but you still also have Curtain and Trey Fort. I just think it makes the rotation a little bit better for Michigan State. So yeah, a big start is something I'm looking for. Really would like to see Jackson Kohler get going again. This has now been really kind of 5 games where we haven't really seen what we had seen earlier in the season for Jackson Kohler. Again, turnovers have been a bit of an issue with the big men in general. This isn't a Jackson Kohler problem. This is a Cam Ward. This is a Carson Cooper. Just big guys in general. Too many turnovers going on right now. But Kohler, you haven't really seen him get many post touches lately. I mean, that's where he thrives, his footwork and ability to finish at the rim. You haven't seen him go back to that a whole lot lately. And you'd really like to see that happen again. Again, it's not as simple as just give it to him in the post. Why not? Well, teams are sending double teams at Jackson Kohler, and big guys don't really want him, and that's forcing him to make a pass. Izzo seems comfortable with his ability to pass it, but he says like Kohler's been panicking at times and making some poor decisions. But that's the idea, though. You send the double team, you make the big man who's not used to passing the ball, especially with 2 guys in his face, and sometimes they make a poor decision. That's a turnover. Again, turnovers have been the killer for Michigan State during Big Ten play. Turnover, like they are in Big Ten play, they are the most likely team in the Big Ten to turn it over on any given possession. They've been turning it over almost about 20% of the time, 20% of their possessions during Big Ten play. It's dead last in the Big Ten. It's too much. It's too much, and it's not a Jeremy Fears problem. He's the guy who has the ball most of the time. He only turns it over about 2.2 2.3 times per game, which, given how much he has the ball, not a lot. And how many assists he gets, really not a lot. So, again, like I said, it's a lot of big men turnovers. So, that has to be something that has to get fixed some way, somehow, looking into this game. I'm trying to think of some. Again, you'd like to see some, but again, you'd like to see some good two-guard play beyond Jordan Scott, probably. Curtain, you'd like to see more out of him. Trace, but this is the thing that we've been saying over and over again. Curtain, Trey Fort, got to step up some way. There's something else that I wanted to bring up, and I'm kind of blanking right now. I guess I'll just kind of talk about some of the guys from Minnesota. Really, the big guy you got to know, Cade Tyson, kind of has had an interesting career path. Started out as a mid-major guy, played at Belmont for 2 years. He's a sniper from 3-point range though. Career wide, I think he's at 41%. This season at 38.5% or something for Minnesota. But he started at Belmont, averaged about 15 points per game. Then transferred to North Carolina last year. Really didn't play much. Averaged like 2 points per game and like 8 minutes per game. Just not wasn't getting very much PT. Goes to Minnesota, and now he's the star player, averaging just under 20 points per game. He's fourth in the conference in scoring. Baller. He's a baller, and he's one of the guys that worries me about this Minnesota team, where I think their record isn't. This is what Izzo said. This is why I think too. Minnesota is not as bad as what their record says they are. They're 10-12 during overall in the season, 3-8 during conference play. 7-game losing streak entering today, Wednesday. But in these 7 games, they've all been competitive. Like, these are like legit games where Minnesota, all 7 of them, I looked, they at some point in the second half, they've either had a tie game or they have had the lead, and they've lost 7 straight games. It's like remarkably impressive that they have done that 7 straight games. And these have been good opponents. It's Big Ten play. They did it to Illinois. They did it to Nebraska. Like, they lost it overtime to USC. I'm trying to think of it was like twice to Wisconsin, who's a solid team. Like, they can give MSU some fits. And I do think like this is going to be a game probably during the second half. If you're expecting to sit down on the couch on Wednesday night and just see MSU roll to a 20-30 point win, don't know if this is the game for that. It's the Big Ten. You shouldn't really be expecting that anyways, but this is probably going to be a tighter game than you like, especially given you just watched that game against Rutgers that they had, a team that's also underperforming, not doing very well, and MSU should have lost that game. Just really, they should have lost that game. They find a way, though, to piece together a comeback, win in overtime, even though it was a game they really didn't deserve to win, probably. Found a way to do it. They got to be better, of course. They've got a bit more rest going into this game, I'm pretty sure. Again, that should help. But again, they're coming down from a really emotional loss. And yeah, it's just kind of a big refocusing game where I really do think you're going to see some of the mental toughness of this team be tested. Because, it's been a difficult couple of days. Like, Jeremy Fears, like, he's probably heard the comments from Dusty May about some of the dangerous plays. Like, to some level, yeah, like the tripping one, yeah, that's bad. I mean, you can't trip people. That's basic stuff. Some of the stuff I don't know as much if I agree, but like, yeah, the tripping one was like the flagrant foul. I didn't think it was like that bad. Like, I don't think he's truly trying to like do any harm there. It was a hard foul, but it's on a fast break. I thought it was the correct call, flagrant one. Nothing we have to really over exaggerate and talk about too much. But yeah, obviously bitter rivalry going on with that Michigan game. But of course, these guys are on social media. They're Gen Zers. They know what's going on here. They're not insulated. They're not monks. They're not insulated from social media. Like, they know what's going on here. So there's been a lot of outside distractions too, but they have a game to win against Minnesota. It's going to be a big one because if they want to win the Big Ten, you can't drop games like this. At the end of the day, though, Minnesota is not a very good team. They're just not. I do think they're probably a team more fitting of like 5-7, 6-6 at this point in their Big Ten schedule. Or, well, they've played 11 games, so probably like 5-6. We'll say that. But still a team you shouldn't lose these games, even though they're on the road. You got to find a way to win games like these if you truly want to win in a conference that it's that good at the top. The top tier is that good. Like, again, Michigan's a team that can win the national championship. Illinois is a team that can win the national championship. Purdue, maybe if they get hot at the end of the year. What's the other? Like, Nebraska. Yeah, I think Nebraska, again, they get hot. they have that capability. I don't think I'm gonna pick Nebraska to go to my Final Four. Like if they did it, I wouldn't be like I'd be more stunned about the fact that it was Nebraska and not that I didn't think they were capable of doing so. So yeah, that kind of. But again, when it's that good at the top tier of the conference, you can't drop games like at Minnesota, especially when you have Illinois coming up next. You got to go to Purdue. You got to go to Michigan. So yeah, big game. Every game is a big game from here on out. It's this point of the college basketball season. Looking forward to it though. But yeah, that kind of sums up my thoughts on this upcoming game against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. There will be plenty of written content on it as well. You can get all of that at SpartanNation.com or at Michigan State Spartans on SI. Thank you all for listening, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Music, any other streaming platform. Thank you very much. Once again, though, I'm Jacob Patsanika. I'll see you guys around.